up, internet people?
Oh, I hate that.
Random strangers.
Hate that.
How are you? How you doing?
Destroy that like button, subscribe.
Well, please like, subscribe, and share, and...
That just sounded like more of a I don't know, YouTube series sort of opening, and I didn't like it.
Exactly. Perfect. This is the dystopia in which we all live now, the horror show that we have created through the creation of the monster that is the internet. Hello, everyone. This is Comics Covered. For the week of June 27th, this is episode 32.
It's double of 16.
You're right. That math does add up.
Doesn't it?
I was going to argue with you about it because I feel instinctually inclined to argue with you about any particular thing.
Oh.
But, our numbers, they don't lie.
Pretty
They're
cut
like
and dry.
Pretty cut and dry. Here on Comics Cover, we talk about comic books and the world around them, including the horror show that is the internet, the comics industry. Comic movies, comics TV, comic games. I have to put the word comic in front of all of those things.
All of them, please.
Just in case you lost the thread of that sentence, like I did. We will also talk spoilers, and we'll almost assuredly swear. We'll warn you about those spoilers, though, kind of up front.
Yeah.
I'm Doug. I'm the closest thing to a comics expert we have on this show.
Veteran.
God help us all. I'm leading us.
Yeah.
And I, for example, you put a character in this segment here for me that we both know.
Yes.
We do know who Harlog the Defiler is, because he's
just taking over, and he's
Muppet.
Putting eggs into your into your person.
That's a character from Black Science. If anyone isn't reading that, read that series. It's wonderful. That is not the character I'm doing this week, though. For example, me being our resident comics expert, I know a character who my co-host Jack might not know.
Yes.
And that character is Rainbow Raider.
Okay, cool. I'm Jack. I am not as knowledgeable about comics at all, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna beat Doug at some point. At some point, he's gonna be. No, probably not. Never. Rainbow.
That's like one of those things where you someday when I'm older than you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop reading comics. And I don't know. Maybe I'll slow down at some point to a point, and you'll really get into it, and maybe then you'll.
Oh, hey.
I guess it's not quite the same as
I'll
age.
never be older than you, unfortunately. You're already 30, so that's crazy.
That's not true, but also maybe it is. I don't want to give people my age.
Yeah, your social security number, right?
And my social security number is... Put a number on the tally board, please. Reset that accidents counter in the factory back to 0. I made the joke.
No one is taking a factory counter of it.
No, I got a big counter on my wall. It's a number of days since a bad joke incident, and we've reset it back to 0 here.
I feel like
there's
it's
a man
always
bloody
at 0.
on the floor. There's a man bloody on the floor here.
Jesus.
He didn't wear a hard hat to protect him from the bad jokes.
Like he's bleeding from his ears now?
He's just kind of bleeding really all over.
Oh.
It just kind of generally flattened him.
That more sounds like... he should be a part of Chelsea Kane's new book at Image. In any case, Rainbow Raider, because it's about women having their periods.
Oh, you're talking about her just announced book. Sure.
Yes. No, it's on the solicit. It's not just announced. Yeah. I'm sure it was announced before, right?
Well, I mean, the announcement was the solicits.
Is that really how it works? Aren't they usually always announced before they're solicited?
The big books generally get announced just before solicits come out because they want to make their own little thing out of it because it'll get more of a headline. But for the most part, most random books, just you find out when solicits come out.
Huh. Okay. In any case, Rainbow Raider, you're going to have to ask me pointed questions about Rainbow Raider.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, Jack, Do you think Rainbow Raider is a Big 2 character?
No.
You're wrong.
God damn it. When are you going to give me not a Big 2 character?
10 years from now. On an episode 300.
I don't know if
Rainbow Raider, Marvel or DC?
DC.
You're correct. It is a DC character.
Okay.
Tried to throw you for a loop by doing another DC character.
Did you do DC last week? What was last week again?
I think I did DC the last couple. I know I did DC last week. What was last week? I don't remember.
I don't know. Whatever.
No idea. Moving on. Rainbow Raider. Okay. Here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
All right. Rainbow Raider. Well, okay. Sorry. One more question before it gets interesting.
So it's not interesting right now. So everybody, turn off your podcast.
Turn off your podcast. This question is not interesting. Is this a man or a woman?
Oh, it's neither.
We got a Z. I think it's Z. Z-Zim situation going on here.
Z. Oh yeah, I always read it as Zay.
Yeah, I'm never sure. I always see it written, so I'm never entirely sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Z.
Which, by the way, I'm totally down for that. A lot of people don't know about that pronoun, and they want to go by they instead. And I don't like the they as much because it's already for plural groups of people. Like, I like using Z and Zim much better, you know?
It's clearer. It does, like, feel a little bit forced, like, making up a new word for it, but
everything does at this point for this,
it does communicate meaning better, I think.
Like,
anyways.
What is it? I'm sorry, 1 second, one little story. So in Berkeley, they had a guy they were on a manhunt for him because he, like, beat someone up or is some sort of assault or something. And he had friends on campus. And so when they did the story being like, hey, we're looking for this guy, you know, he's right here. The people that were friends were like, hey, you know, I mean, he really refers, like, we'd all refer for the community for him to be referred to by they. And, like, that's fine, and he can be referred to by everybody he wants, but if you're looking for someone and you're putting out something to look for someone, I feel like it's a little confusing to be, hey, we're looking for them here. Like, are we looking for a group of people? Or like won't that not compute really at first?
Yeah, that's where the singular new word of a Z or Zim would be clearer.
Yeah.
Anyways,
sorry. Other than transgender politics, we talk about comics.
Rainbow Raider. You said neither? It is a man.
Okay, it's a man. It's a man.
It's a he-him scenario.
It's a he-him scenario. Well, we don't know what he identifies as. Come on, Doug.
He prefers to go by he-him.
Okay.
Puts his identifiers, his pronouns right in his Twitter page.
I would rather have anti-nouns.
Con-nouns?
Con-nouns.
Unnouns.
Unnouns. That's good. Okay. See, that's a little forced, but it's just new. So, okay. In any case, can we get it interesting here? They've turned it off for about 2
Yeah, okay, you're right. Everyone turned off when we started talking about gender politics. So, Rainbow Raider. Okay. Now it does get fun. Okay. I'm going to give you a true or false question here.
Okay.
All right. This person's name. Okay. This person's name is Indigo G. Violet.
True or false, you said?
True or false?
Well, I mean... Indigo G. Violet?
Yes. Indigo G. Violet.
Why would it be G unless he's going out of order? Green. I feel like it's something like that, but not that. I feel like you're changing it up. So, false.
You are correct. This person's name is, in fact, one Roy G. Bivolo.
Oh, that's great. Roy G. Bivolo. That is...
Roy G. Bivolo.
Wait, because isn't Roy Bigelow a real person?
Is it? I don't know.
Wait, 1 second.
The Google.
Yes, to the Google. Marilyn Roy Bigelow is a real person.
I mean, Deuce Bigelow.
Edward Bigelow obituary. Marilyn Bigelow in Arizona, 18 records
I'm
found.
going to go ahead and guess if you are about 4 or 5 Google results down that this is not a person that
Sylvester Bigelow. There's a Roy Donald Bigelow. Okay, I'm done. Oh, sorry. Okay, so, wow. Roy G. Bivolo. Sorry.
Bivolo. Thank you very much, because it's Roy G. Biv.
I get that. Thank you, Doug. Oh, God. That is too great. Why? Mm-hmm. Okay, can this be a question? Was he Roy G. Bivolo before or after becoming Rainbow Raider?
His name is Roy G. Bivolo.
It was actually Roy G. It was actually Roy G. Bivolo before he became Rainbow Raider.
Yeah. From birth. I'm looking at his origin here, and it says, from an early age, Roy G. Bivolo, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my God.
That's his name.
Okay, so he must have picked Rainbow Raider. Okay, are you going to ask me more questions? Are there more questions, or what?
I mean, I can ask you about his powers. I don't really know what to ask. I have
no idea what they could be.
Do you think he has powers that involve paint, or do you think he has powers that involve light?
Light.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I didn't really have a good fake one for that.
Paint.
Paint. He can generate paint.
I have paint all over me now. What?
It's like me and a friend were sending each other stupid superhero characters the other week, and I sent him gold balls from the X-Men.
Yes.
And Gold Balls is a character who generates gold balls. Large gold spheres. And every time they appear, they make a sound, and the sound effect is poink.
What?
Poink.
Are they not hard?
Like a bouncy sound.
Are they made of...
They're like bouncy.
What?
They're hard but bouncy. I think he can control it, but I'm not sure.
But it still wouldn't make a boink. It would make more of a clang.
It's poink. No, they're not hard. They're not metallic.
Why
aren't made of gold, but they are gold color.
I don't like that. Why aren't they made of gold? If his name is Gold Balls...
They're bouncy.
I don't like that. What?
The big bouncy balls.
What good can they do at all?
He could generate them very fast and shoot them.
That's like... I feel like he's the power of having, like, a multitude of kidney stones, and that's what he's putting out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just passes them really well, and he, like, makes them.
I mean, that is literally what he's doing. No, it's not.
Thank you. Okay, Rainbow Raider, I'm going to his page, because screw you.
Okay.
Why is his costume all black?
That's a version of his costume.
That's a dumb version of his costume.
That's a more modern version.
Dumb version of his costume.
But he usually, if you look through his costumes, he does have some black accents, but then it's a lot of rainbow stripes.
Yes. I see the one where he has a big like a wispy jacket kind of going.
Yeah. The visual usually of him is he like Iceman style or like Frozone or whatever, like makes a trail of rainbow light in front of him that he skates along.
That is wonderful.
It's wonderful.
I love that. Okay.
It's very great.
Based on the acronym symbolizing colors of character, rebooted New 52.
Just in case you didn't catch that.
Yes.
You know.
I'm trying to, he's given it the name Chroma now. Did you see that?
What? Did they change his name?
The character was redesigned and given the name Chroma.
That's dumb.
That is dumb.
Rainbow Raider.
Okay.
I've had a thing in the last year about how, like, change is not bad and, like, let characters change and whatever, but, like, that's just people being afraid of the silly in comics.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like that. That's just taking what was funny and unique about this character and making it generic.
Oh, he was colorblind.
Oh, yeah, he was colorblind, and they gave him goggles. But they gave him goggles that don't, like, make him not colorblind. They just they just create solid beams of rainbow light.
That's okay. Wow. And he was a terrible artist. That's so sad.
Yeah, apparently because the colors clash. because he's colorblind.
I'm getting an ad right now for sorry. I'm getting an ad right now for men's dress shirts, one of which is like looks like it has paint of many colors like falling down it, like wet paint, and it looks really cool. I would love it, and I would go as a go to like a con as Rainbow Raider. I think that'd be really
as
fun.
Rainbow Raider in this shirt. Yeah.
It's by DressToLily.com. Never heard of them.
Wow. That's some pointed, like, targeted ad.
It really is.
Content there.
It really is. I should take a screenshot for you. I'll do that.
We recognize this shirt has a rainbow shirt in it. This shirt has a rainbow shirt in it? What? Oh, God.
Wait, so this guy was in Blackest Night?
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Did you read that?
He must have died at some point. I have not read it because that is in the later parts of Jeff Johns' 10-year Green Lantern stuff.
Oh shit!
And
really,
I have not gotten anything past like the first couple years.
Is that like the climax of it?
It's near it's the latter half. I don't know that it's not the end. Okay. There's events after it. There's Brightest Day. There's I think all of that was before New 52, which he continued writing in. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Jack, how was your week?
It was wonderful. I have been reading like a bozo, and it's great. I am reading American Gods currently by Neil Gaiman, and I'm really pumped to, first of all, watch the show, and to also read some more Neil Gaiman.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always someone who, like, I'll read little bits, and I love every bit I've read from him, and I'm like, I need to read more of this, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
I don't know. This is really, really great. I wanted to ask you for a second, though. Possible spoilers for American Gods, but it's at the beginning. So, you remember the scene that, when I first started the book, that I told you about, that matched up with the show? That scene?
Oh, yes.
When is that in the show? Is that like the first episode or third or second or what?
It's maybe like the second or third episode. It's like near the beginning sometimes.
That's crazy.
It's not the first episode, I don't think.
Okay, I'm just going to tell them what scene this is. So, this isn't big spoilers, but this book, near the beginning of the story, in both things, the book and the TV show, there is a scene of a woman eating a man with her vagina, which is hysterical and awesome. And when you're reading it, it's just like, oh God, because I don't know.
Is it much more okay? Because they do it in a specific way in the show.
Okay.
Is it more like I don't know how to describe
graphic?
What I'm trying to ask, but yeah, like graphic or like physical in the show.
I think
in the book.
I think it's done in a way in the book where, like, they can describe things in books where if you put them actually on screen, it would be porn. But they definitely go into great detail of,
oh my God,
physical what's going on.
Like, is it like, I mean, like, physically, is it like a mouth in the book? Like, is it eating?
No, it's a vagina.
Okay, it just absorbs him.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
okay.
But also,
right.
So what I wanted to say about this, though, it's really weird to me reading this book right now because there are so many different representations of gods that I'm reading right now and experiencing, because I'm reading American Gods, which depicts a lot of gods from all over the place, including, well, I don't know if I should give the actual names, because I don't know if you know, like, do you know anything about Wednesday yet?
I don't really remember characters' names from that show apart from like some of the big ones.
Well, Mr. Wednesday is like one of the main characters.
I mean, is he the one who like contracts Shadow Moon?
Yeah.
Then yes, I know who it is. Yeah, that's Ian McShane in the show.
Yeah, Ian McShane. Do you know who who that represents?
Yeah, it's
Odin,
right?
yeah. Okay, so it's really funny to me and awesome to me to be experiencing like things like Odin in American Gods, and then in a completely different way in like comics, And then in an absolutely completely different way I'm watching a playthrough of God of War right now. So
sure.
It's really crazy seeing, because they refer to many, many gods in the book, and I'm really excited for them to get there in the show too. Like, and it's like, oh, this one did this thing, and it's like, oh, that's, in comics and in the God of War as well, and it's just really funny to me, and it's almost like hard to like distinguish, like, okay, wait, this is this Odin, this is this thing I'm experiencing. Okay, this is what's happening here. So yeah, it's crazy. But by the way, God of War is a crazy game, and it's awesome. Have you played it?
I played like the first 2 hours, and then I got stuck on a combat arena, and haven't gone back to it. I need to go back to it at some point. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I
feel like you'll end up like, it's amazing the turns that it takes, like where it goes with it.
Okay, it's
really like you have no idea. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to it. Anyways,
what about you, Doug? How's your week? Tell me.
It was good. I watched all of the first season of AMC's The Terror this week, which is a very good show. The marketing makes it very much look like it's a horror series, and it is ? But the horror stuff is very much all there, it's kind of always there in the background, but it's more setting than it is like actual story content. I mean, there are definitely like scenes and episodes where it breaks through a bit more, but like, yeah, it's a show about these two British naval ships that are going to try to scout the Arctic Passage to try to find a way to China. They think they clearly don't have a very good idea of geography, but they're going up through the Arctic to try to find a route through there, and they get stranded in the Arctic, and it's basically like them having to like, it's like the politics of the different officers and their underlings, and like how are they surviving, and there might be a monster that is picking them off, and there might be a Eskimo curse that is that they have brought down upon themselves, or maybe they're all going insane from disease and from being stuck there so long in the cold and desolate place that the Arctic is.
It's basically Hunt for Red October beats The Thing.
A little bit. I'd say more like it's like Master and Commander meets The Thing.
Oh, I never saw Master and Commander. I was just thinking with like the two like officers who are trying to get authority.
It's like 1850s.
Well, okay, yeah, I wasn't going for time period. I was going for kind of story, but okay, I can feel that.
I just mean like in terms of like it's not like a thriller in the way that like Hunt for Red October is. Like, it's very much like they're old-timey naval officers, and they're very formal, and they're, lots of politics and intrigue between them. But like, it's a really good period drama.
So
survival.
It's kind of like a political sort of intrigue with a sprinkle of horror.
It's a character piece with a sprinkle of horror.
Okay. Does the horror make the characters like? Does it in? Okay, you know what I'm saying. Like
the horror is all there to enhance the drama between characters, to like create tension between the characters, and like the whole show is like kind of structured around those horror elements, but it's more so about like getting to know the characters and their arcs. And Jared Harris, if anyone knows who Jared Harris is, I think I explained who that was. He's Lane Price from Mad Men, if anyone watches Mad Men, or he was God, what is his name?
What?
In Moriarty.
Oh yeah,
in the second Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie. He was. He's an older, not in shape man.
But he was really skinny in Mad Men.
I guess maybe he was a little bigger in...
he was very large in Sherlock Holmes.
Maybe. But he's a really good character actor, and he's more or less the main character in that show, and his arc is one of the most satisfying character arcs. And it's one of the like biggest, most drastic kind of character arcs I've seen in a show in a long time. And they really pull it off. It's very satisfying.
That's cool. Are there more seasons of The Terror going to happen?
So they're doing it. They just announced a second season, but they're doing it in the way that a lot of shows nowadays are kind of moving towards. A lot of effects shows are doing this in that it's an anthology series by season.
Yeah.
So it is a full, complete beginning, middle, and end story in that first season. You get closure at the end, and they're going to do a different story in season 2 that is going to be like thematically similar.
I like that. That's awesome.
It's going to be set in World War II, I believe. So they're continuing the themes of like, it's a period piece, it's about the military, and I'm sure there are going to be horror elements in it.
I'll bet that really saves money for the studio as well in terms of actor contracts, because you won't get any of those like, they're getting paid $1 million an episode because, they needed them for another season. So I think it's such a good move financially. And I think it's a really great move. Like, obviously long form storytelling in TV is something that's very like, it's very, special for that. And you can do that across seasons and really well across seasons. But I really like the anthology thing. Like, it works so well.
It's just a really different thing because it's such a recent movement that like we've had anthology shows where each episode is different for a long time. And pretty much it was like, it's that, which is the minority, or the majority, which is it's just the same story for seasons and seasons and seasons. Yeah. And so I think it's just a cool, different thing to have the option to like tell like longer form, but finite stories. Yeah. That this kind of season anthology thing has started. I really like that. I think it's cool. You get kind of the best of both worlds in those shows, I feel like.
Oh yeah, because there's still 8 hours of storytelling or more, but yeah.
Yeah. You still get that like what's going to happen next, and I binged it. I didn't watch it week to week, but like you get that like serialized storytelling format, but you also get beginning, a middle, and an end, a whole arc. It's in a decent amount of time, and then a whole new story the next season. It's cool,
and it doesn't ever feel like they're continuing it for the sake of continuing it, which is nice. It's really annoying sometimes in long TV show runs where. And this
is a 10 episode season. This first season, so it's pretty tight 10 episodes. It's very good.
Cool, very cool. Should we tell people what we're doing now?
Oh yeah, we're just gonna try to move on into news here.
Oh, nice.
But we're gonna try to kind of slim up our news segment just a little bit. We're gonna try to make a little bit more time for us to be able to talk about our current books. Now that we have a lot more to talk about, since Jack is reading a lot more along with.
Ironic though, this is probably one of my lightest weeks in a while. In any case though, also, cool. I think it's a good move because, it's not like we're breaking any news. It's not like we're the first source of news, and we don't add that much good commentary to it.
No. We want to talk about the big stuff still, but we're not a news outlet. So we still want to like highlight some of that stuff, but we're going to try to keep it a little bit slimmer to have more time for
more of an inlet of news.
Anyways. All right. So, the most interesting news thing this week is that DC Universe, DC's new proprietary streaming service. I don't know what to call it anymore. It's their new subscription model. Kind of announced a more fully laid out plan of like what everything in their service contains this week. And it does include, as a lot of speculation kind of figured, a comics option. Or not option, but like it does offer comic books. So this is alongside, they've announced a bunch of original TV shows, like they're doing a Teen Titans live action show, they're doing a Swamp Thing live action show, and surprisingly a live action Doom Patrol show, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But alongside that, they are also offering a lot of their movies, a lot of their old TV shows, a lot of their animated stuff, and then they're going to have a comics option. Now, I've been hoping that this was going to be a kind of analogous model to Marvel's Unlimited.
Because they have like all of their comics on the digital front, right?
It's not necessarily all of them, but it's like you get pretty much everything. You get pretty much it's most of their shit. Like, with like some exceptions, I feel like.
Okay.
I think I could be incorrect on that, but it's a really, really robust, like, I was talking to Brian on here when he guest hosted a month or two back, and he was saying, like, he's able to read pretty much any new series, he just has to wait a couple months or whatever.
Okay.
And he read, like, all the way through Ultimate Spider-Man up until, like not too far in the past. So, like, he was able to read, like, a huge chunk of that stuff.
Okay. But, like, this stuff, I was just talking to someone about it, and, it's really sad because the reason why I think they're doing this is because I think they want to get the foot in the door for people that come for the TV and movies, but they want them to, like, maybe do a little bit more comics and maybe get them to do it. But that sucks for people who are a fan of the comics already.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely, it's a few things. It's one, they want to highlight their, so let me just say what exactly it is. So they came out with a press release saying what their stuff was. And it includes in their read section on this press release, a quote, curated selection of, it does say thousands of DC comics. So that's a lot. But, when you're talking about, like, runs of comics that may have gone, like, 50 issues or whatever, like, that isn't necessarily that many series in the grand scheme of things. And then they're going to rotate in and out every month. So you're going to have a limited time to read certain things.
Yeah, see, I think the rotating thing is what worries me, because it could be thousands of stuff they're willing to put on there, but if they're rotating, that means they're rotating through what? How many comics a month? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Like, are you going to, like, start reading a big old run of, like 100 plus run of comics or a 50 plus run of comics, and you don't get through all of them in a month, and then they just take them off?
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
Really sucks. I was telling someone, this is like if they came out with a laptop and they said it didn't have any internet on it. It's like, okay, cool. Seriously though? Like really? Like, why are you going to do that?
Or it's like, here's a laptop. You're going to have a selection of internet sites on it.
Yeah.
And next month it's going to be different. Like, it's not exactly what you were looking for. And yes, it makes sense. It does totally make sense in the sense of, like, we are going to be attracting people who aren't necessarily comics readers or current comics readers or whatever, or people who haven't read much comics, or any. And those people, they want to, like, point them directly to, like, here's the absolute best stuff. It's stuff that seems like they're going to be putting a focus on stuff that is tied to some of their TV shows, not directly, but, like, maybe as the source material, or maybe as just, like, good stuff about the characters they call out. Like, they're doing a Swamp Thing show, and they're going to have Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing on there,
okay.
So, like, it's going to be a lot of, like, synergy stuff like that. Harley Quinn, they're like, by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner, they're going to have on there because they're doing a Harley Quinn show,
but you'd think they'd want to make their thing bigger and better than Marvel in any way, since they're doing it second, but I guess not.
Now, the thing that is, like, it's weird because it is an entirely different thing than Marvel Unlimited. And, like, in a lot of ways, it is kind of bonkers to ask them to, like, do the same kind of thing when they're also putting all this, like, TV stuff on there, this new TV stuff on there. Like, they're dumping a lot of money into that. And so, like, in order for them to not have to charge you just, like, a fuck ton for this service, like, there's only so many of these comics they can put on there in order for the value to be, like, balance out,
Mm-hmm. I wonder how long after this comes out the CW shows will exist.
Yeah, you mean like if they just like won't exist anymore?
Yeah.
They'll be around for a while. I don't think that stuff is going to. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe someday they'll move to this app or something. I'm not sure, but
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like existing on TV in general, because I feel like this is them testing the waters for people experiencing TV out of different forms other than cable or like broadcast for CW, I guess. But
I don't think they're going to be announcing any new DC shows on CW or anywhere else.
Yeah.
Any new shows are going to be going to this, assuming it's successful, which I have my doubts. But yeah, I don't know that I don't think they're going to be like getting. I don't think those existing shows are going to be going anywhere, assuming they continue to perform well.
Mm-hmm.
But like they're not going to announce new CW shows. I'm a little unclear if some of these shows are technically supposed to be taking place in the same universe, if they're in the whatever Arrowverse or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like they look like. I feel like the reason you're saying that is because they look like that quality. Yeah,
they definitely look like that level of quality, and
I don't know. I don't know if it's fair for us to speculate on that yet.
I don't know. They've probably said, and I just don't care enough about the Arrowverse to know.
It's sad because I heard Green Arrow's actually supposed to be pretty good.
I've heard from various people that those shows are good, and every time I've tried to watch any of them, I just can't really get into it. But
yeah,
I don't know.
What can you do?
I appreciate what people like about them. Just not for me.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So it's weird. It's like considering all of their other the TV stuff and all their other movies and stuff that they're doing. It is a pretty big offering across like a few different mediums. It's just like it feels like it's not a huge enough offering in any one of those mediums alone.
Yeah.
To really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a lot when you consider all of them, but like not everyone is going to want all of those things. And so I just wonder how this thing is going to perform. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really see like, yeah. No, I mean, that's about it. You kind of tied it up really nicely there. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Are you going to join it at all? If they do like a free trial, I'm definitely doing it. Yeah.
To check out the shows. I feel like I want to check out the
Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol for sure.
I definitely want to check out the Swamp Thing show. I feel an obligation to check out the Teen Titans show, if only because it's going to spin off into the Doom Patrol show.
Yeah.
And so.
Did they say ever, are they releasing these shows weekly, or are they releasing them all at the same time like Netflix? Have they said that?
That I'm not sure about. I'm not sure. Let me see if this press release has...
pretty good information to include in a press release.
Let's see. It says they're scheduled to debut in 2019. That's Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol. Titans, which premieres later this year. They're also developing a slate of animated TV series. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't really say anything about the release schedule as far as I can tell.
I think we'll just have to see when it comes out. That's crazy. What do you think?
They're also going to have they're going to have all of like Batman the Animated Series and like shit like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, it's...
Oh, crap. That might leave Hulu then.
Oh, probably.
Shit, that sucks. I want to watch it.
Yeah. That show's so good. Anyways, so...
Oh, by the way, speaking of, I read that this book that Paul Dini wrote, this graphic novel that's like autobiographical about his thing. You should really get it. It's called Dark Knight something.
It's a Dark Knight story.
Yes, it's a true Batman something.
Or a true Batman. Wait, shit.
I don't know. It's really, really cool. I think you should read it. It's very different. It's nonfiction though, completely.
Yeah, it's about like Paul Dini was mugged and kind of and injured badly, and like him recovering from that, and kind of like how thinking about Batman and the Joker, like kind of like got him through that.
Well,
I think
it's
or like
it's about the mugging is a big part of it, but that kind of it also him healing from that sort of stimulates him to try healing himself in other ways that are deeper, like not physical injuries to himself. You know, the way he sees himself and stuff like that. And he thinks about, villains in Batman and Batman as itself, like how they work to kind of help him with those as opposed to, I don't know, it's kind of like using those how he deals with life in a way and illustrates that in a very cool way. The art is beautiful specifically, and the story is great.
Yeah, it's Eduardo Risso, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Does the art? Yeah, he's great.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out at some point. I'm not usually one for nonfiction stuff. I think we talked about that when we were talking about Grant Morrison's Super Gods the other week. But the occasional good one catches my eye, and that one has seemed interesting. I'll have to check it out at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In other news this week,
this is so cool.
So just quickly, M. Night Shyamalan dropped spoilers. By the way, if anyone
this is spoilers for Split.
This is spoilers for Split. Yeah. So
get out of here.
Skip the next minute or two.
If my girlfriend is listening right now, don't fucking listen anymore. You goddamn whore. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh my God, Jesus.
I don't talk to her like that. I really don't.
Yeah, so M. Night Shyamalan dropped the first poster for Glass, which is the kind of crossover between, it's sort of a crossover. The end of Split is basically the reveal that it is in the same universe as his old movie Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, which featured a character named Mr. Glass, which was Samuel L. Jackson. And it was a kind of sort of superhero kind of take. It was a take on superhero fiction. And this new movie is Bruce Willis theoretically going up against James McAvoy's character from Split.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Mr. Glass is going to be in it in some form. I mean, it's named after him, so he's definitely going to be
I feel like
part of it.
I feel like Mr. Glass is going to manipulate Beast, James McAvoy, into what's his name again? Actually, the Horde. Sorry, Horde.
The Horde. Yeah.
Into doing evil shit. I think that's what's going to be. I think.
Yeah. The poster here that we have is interestingly. I mean, so it's the three of them, and they are the reflections on the floor of three people who look like they're in like an institution of some kind in various forms.
Well, one's in jail, one's in a psych ward probably, and one's in his wheelchair.
Yeah, so maybe a hospital.
Yeah.
Because wonder
why he's in jail, though.
Yeah, that's curious to me.
I just noticed
these people don't really look like them, or maybe they are. I can't really. They don't really look like them.
I mean, Bruce Willis specifically, he doesn't have that thin of legs. Which my guess is it probably isn't them, but it probably is meant to be them.
It definitely, regardless, these aren't them. If they're supposed to look like them, they're supposed to be body doubles, but I just don't think they look very much like their bodies. But maybe that's on purpose. Maybe they're not them. But I don't know. I really hope that this isn't implying that the movie is like somehow they're all in a minute.
Oh, no. No, it can't be.
I don't know. I don't know anything about M. Night Shyamalan anymore. I thought Split was the psychological misgivings aside about the portrayal of.
No, I give it fine. No, I think it's fine because they do introduce something that is true that a lot of other split personality things don't, which is two things actually. The idea that, they really go in depth on why people develop this disorder. It's so that they have different ways to deal with different situations, and I think they did that pretty well, even though they do bastardize that a little bit. And they also, no other thing has done the, believing you have, a physical malady and these people do have those physical maladies after that. Like that, those are two things that they introduced that are new. So I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's fine then. I give them a pass, kind of.
Yeah. Anyways, that stuff aside. Anyways, I think it was a really good return to form in terms of like a well-crafted thriller.
Yeah.
From M. Night Shyamalan. And so I'm excited to see him kind of returning again in a more direct way, in not just a tonal way, but in a more direct way to his roots.
Mm-hmm.
In one of his best movies.
To be fair, he did start this comeback story with a movie before Split.
Yeah, I know. I'm
you saw that, right? What was that called?
Split was my kind of return to being okay with him.
You didn't like The Visit?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you need to see it. It's great.
Do I? I heard like it was fine.
It was fun. It was good.
Okay.
You should see it. It's a nice thing to see. I saw it in
theaters. I didn't get the
theaters.
impression it was like necessary reading, and a lot of time has passed.
I don't know.
Not reading.
I watched it and I forgot it was by M. Night Shyamalan. So when the ending came, I was like, oh shit, this is M. Night Shyamalan. I forgot about that.
You mean like there was a giant twist, or you saw his name?
No, like there was like the filmmaking, like made me remember him.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So poster's cool. I'm excited for that. It was the first like thing we've seen from this movie, other than knowing it exists.
Is he saying July 20th here because like he's going to release a trailer or something, or?
I think that's yes. I think July 20th is, that's Comic-Con. July 20th is during Comic-Con. So, and they are going to have a presence there. So I think they're going to be debuting, the trailer.
Oh my God. I'll bet they'll have a really cool, like, I wonder if they'll have a really cool booth where they have like cool comic book art there.
I hope so. That'd be cool. I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Please.
But okay. So, last bit of news here, just quickly. This week in ill-advised movies, that Morbius movie is apparently still fucking happening.
Yeah.
Because
then again,
Morbius, the living vampire.
This website also calls out Silver and Black as still happening.
Jared Leto confirmed that he was cast on Instagram. In the past week. This is a theoretically a thing that is still happening.
Well, shit.
So also Silver and Black I don't think was technically canceled. It just they removed the release date from their like schedule.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
So I mean, I do think that movie is never happening. But
hey, you said that Morbius, anyways. And now Jared Leto. You know, when Jared Leto's attached, you know it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that fucking Suicide Squad thing happened. But
you thought Suicide Squad wasn't going to happen?
No, I'm just saying. I got to think Jared Leto is a mark that. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what to make of this.
What do you think about the weird? Fit? We were just talking about a Jared Leto casting.
I don't know what to think about Jared Leto anymore.
He's a good actor.
He was good in Blade Runner 2049.
Hey, yeah. Have you ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
That's the thing I need to see.
Oh my God, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, Doug, it is like
that's one of the Darren Aronofsky things I haven't seen.
Oh, Doug, it's terrible. It's so great.
I thought you were saying it's terrible.
No, it's terrible. It's so great. It's so great, but it's so
confusing.
It is so like just crushing.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marlon Wayans or Damon Wayans, one of the Wayans brothers is in it, and he's really good in it actually.
Okay. Yeah. So I really just wanted to check back in on that to be like, I guess that's still happening. That's a baffling decision in this day and age in a superhero thing to attach him to your movie.
Hey, Doug. Can you play Sony executive for a second?
Okay. Yep.
Hey, so are these movies taking place in the MCU? Is Tom Holland going to show up as Spider-Man?
I mean, maybe. I'm putting my finger up to my lip right now.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. That's really good for our clickbait titles. Okay.
Possibly you can't do anything about it.
Okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Yeah, so that's happening. Let's move on though. Let's talk about our current comics. All right, so we did end up talking a little bit more about this than intended, but we'll get there.
It's okay.
So this week we had a bunch of books in our stack.
I'm going to say them.
Okay, you say them. What did we read, Jack?
Well, because we didn't even get that many. You had more alone, which is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
We both got Marvel 2-in-1 number 7, which still remains the most confusing title. The Man of Steel number 5, the Sentry number 1, and Venom number 3. Very fun.
And then I also picked up Descender number 31. One more issue of that series. This is the second to last. Detective Comics number 983. Kill or Be Killed number 20. You've changed the name here to Kick or Be Kicked, which is very funny.
I like it better.
Yes. Multiple Man number 1. Saga number 1?
Yeah, number 1. I was going to say,
what am I talking about?
I feel bad that I didn't jump on.
53. Yeah, they relaunched Saga. No, Saga number 53. Flash number 49. Terrific. The Terrifics. Number 5.
I also got Alone, Black Panther.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot to ask you. Yeah, so those were also books that we picked up this week. What's up?
Can we talk about Saga? They're not going to wrap up anytime soon, right?
I don't know. Like, it always feels like you're like hitting the climax of this book, but it's felt like that for like the last like 10, 15 issues. So like, I don't think I don't know. Like, it's a book that I think is just going to go on forever. I feel like we're going to hit like 70, 80 issues or something of this. And then maybe it'll end. I don't think it's going to just go on forever, but like, I don't think we'll get 100 issues of Saga.
Aww.
But, so we're probably in a later part, but I don't think we're within like 5 issues of it ending right now.
I just really want to get to a point where I'm reading it like I am with Black Science. I'm caught up now. I want to get caught up with Saga now.
It's great. It never has a bad issue.
That's insane. Isn't that crazy? Like, how can you always be good at it? Ryan K. Vaughan, that man.
He's great. Yeah. Man. So, let's do our covers of the week. Yes. My favorite cover this week was from Kill or Be Killed.
Kick or Be Kicked.
Number 20, Kick or Be Kicked.
It's the new David Beckham, comic.
Kick or Be Kicked, starring David Beckham. Just kicking a man.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last issue of Kill or Be Killed. Number 20. And, the cover here, all the covers for Kill or Be Killed have been red, mostly red and monochrome. I mean, they're not necessarily like completely monochrome, but they're like the dominant color is red.
Okay.
And then everything else is just kind of neutral. Red and black and white is the dominant color scheme. And that's been every single issue up until now. And this last issue changes from being red to a bright orange. Did I give you a link to the cover of?
Oh yeah, I got it here.
Okay. So it's this bright orange. It really stands out from the rest of the issues. It's this beautiful painted style, like Sean Phillips always does, and it gives you this really. It feels like a Hulk cover. It's this very like super. It's specifically, I feel like it's a reference to the Hulk. In that we've got a big not silhouetted, but like spectral kind of image of the main character, who is like has a second life as like a masked vigilante killer. He's like facing backwards, looking back with his ski mask on, which is kind of his disguise. And in the foreground, we have a fully colored image of Dylan, the main character, much smaller, walking towards the viewer. And there's all this like bright energy lines coming out. And it feels really final in a really great way. The sudden like change of color scheme is a really nice way to like make it feel like final, like closure.
Yeah.
And if you read the issue, it kind of like the tone it evokes in difference to the red on the other covers, like, and the imagery shown on this cover really mirrors kind of the story content.
My guess is he's sort of honing in on what makes him as a person happy about himself, as opposed to being able to escape into this alter ego that he's been able to live in this entire time, or something of the sort.
I mean,
more self-respect,
not that far
kind of
off,
thing?
but there's some more stuff in there. But yeah, it's just like all the covers for this book have been great. I think this is one of the standouts, and it's just really nice. I really like the use of color on this cover, and it. I think if you read any of Ed Brubaker's, he does like essays in the back of every issue, and like if you've read an interview with him about this book, he talks about how he kind of wanted to structure this book a bit like a superhero comic. So the Hulk reference here, in a lot of ways, feels like pointed, and like it makes sense for the character and the dichotomy that they've set up between him and the vigilante killer part of himself.
Yeah,
and I just really like this cover, and I love sucker for Sean Phillips' art. It's always beautiful.
So, does this creative team stay together usually? Do you think they're gonna do another series after this then?
I mean, they already announced they're doing that graphic novel.
Well, yeah, for OGN.
All my heroes are junkies, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's it.
But so they're continuing to work together. I hope they'll return someday to doing more ongoing books. I'm guessing they will. But yeah, they've been working together for, like, I don't think they've been working together exclusively all of that time. Like, Ed Brubaker did a long run on Captain America that didn't have Sean Phillips on it, I don't believe. At least not for much of it. I don't know if I'm willing to bet he did an issue or something, but okay. I don't know that.
Right. But this gives a nice sense of finality to the whole series and everything.
Yeah, it's a really interesting finale, and it feels like a really good sense of closure in some great ways, and leaves it open in some other really great, interesting ways. I don't think they'll ever follow up on it with like a sequel or something, but like, this series has been great, and it's just like a really good like crime thriller. Like they just really know that genre and how to do it in like new interesting ways, how to twist it in interesting ways. And
I've read the first,
just so good.
I've read the first trade, and we have 2 and 3 as well, which I am assuming that they just have 4 then.
This is number 20. So if there are 5 issues a trade, then this would be the 4th trade. Yeah.
So I'll pick that up when it comes out. So I'm excited. Okay.
Jack, what was your favorite cover this week?
Well, it was hard for me to pick one, kinda, because I don't know, there weren't a lot of really great covers, and also I had a shorter week. But I'm gonna do this because I did this issue last time this issue came out. I'm just gonna do Venom again mainly because this Ryan Stegman, who does the cover as well, I thought. Does he? Yeah, he does.
Yes.
He draws the shit out of Venom.
Oh yeah.
I think it's so cool.
He's a really good fit for what like people look for in Venom art.
Yeah.
He's a really good fit for kind of the original spirit of the character.
Definitely. Also, I don't know. I really love, because all of these covers, except for the first one, has like the second and third one have used this negative space thing so well, and I love the empty space because it really, really draws you to it. I really love the lettering of Venom on the cover. I think it looks cool and venomy. And then I I don't know, the detail that he puts into Venom is so cool. And with the spit coming out of it and everything, like, it's just really great. And even continuing throughout the issue, like, he just draws it so well, and he distinguishes it. One of the hardest things, I think, in these things is distinguishing Venom from when it's, like, that red with the red thing on him, distinguishing that sort of possessed Venom with the real Venom. I think it's really cool and very clear in how he does it and how he chose to do it. So I think that's so cool, and I love it. I think, it's really cool. This wasn't all about the cover for me, because I think he just draws Venom in general, but the cover kind of especially shows that off.
I think it's a really cool cover. Yeah, like with Miles Morales, Spider-Man falling, which, by the way, really clever. Like,
I just realized that, because spoilers, that
Miles Morales,
because we already were talking about spoilers, because that happens. I forgot about that.
Did we not warn everyone about the spoilers?
We did.
Spoiler warning. Okay, yeah. Okay. But yeah. So Miles Morales is the Spider-Man featured in this issue, and the cover is him, very small, falling into a giant Venom mouth. There's a lot of white negative space. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. But then this is a moment that happens later, so I just realized that. I like that.
Yeah, because this is actually, I think, supposed to be the big dragon-y thing.
Yes. Oh no, definitely. But also, I wanted to ask, so Miles Morales, does this mean that this isn't in the regular universe, or...
No, Miles Morales is in the regular universe.
With Peter Parker?
Yes.
Okay.
They're both Spider-Man.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any issues with Miles Morales. I like Miles Morales. I think he's a cool character. I like Peter Parker. I think he's a cool character. Pick one. Pick one.
I totally feel you.
You want to go with Miles Morales? Get rid of Peter Parker, or have him retire, or something. Or you want to go with Peter Parker? I think that's a lame decision. I love Peter Parker. I think he's a great character. Peter Parker's been around for like 60 years. But whatever. But just, I don't know. Pick a damn Spider-Man.
I feel you. I totally feel that. It was very weird. One other thing about this issue in general, I mean, just quickly, so we don't have to talk about it later. Like, I really think it's going to a really cool place, and I think it's building up for a really cool definitive story for Venom, and it feels really cool to be reading it ongoing, I think.
Yeah. I waver back and forth on how I feel about Stegman's art, to be honest.
Really?
I think I'm not saying it's bad. It's exactly what it wants to be. I don't think anything in it is like a mistake or poorly done or anything. It's going for a very specific style and tone, and it is executing on that, I think, near perfectly. It's not necessarily my favorite style or tone. It's a very, like, it's Gothic. An evolved version of 90s comic aesthetic, which is very much in spirit with Venom. But it's not really my thing. It's very busy. To
be perfectly honest, though, I think it's less busy than any of the art in Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah.
Really?
Fair. Like, they're a very similar school of art, Greg Capullo and Ryan Stegman. But, yeah, like, I don't think that this is, like, busy in a sense that it's, like, unclear.
Okay.
But, like, I think it's, like, I know what I'm looking at for the most part. But, like, it's just, like, it's a lot. And, I think it works for this series. I think he's a good fit. Is just not my favorite. But I don't know.
All right. I disagree. I think the busyness in this is done in a way that, like you said, it gives a very specific setting for everything and a very specific feeling throughout the whole thing. And I think it's, I don't know, I just think it's really, really well done. And I don't know. I guess I just disagree with you.
No, I see what's good about it. I'm not saying, like, I think he's a great artist. It's just not like my taste. Anyways.
Okay.
So, we talk about a lot of books, but every week we've got books that we are like, we have to talk about.
No, we gotta talk about.
We gotta talk about. And this week, the book that I have got to talk about is The Terrifics, number 5. I wasn't like, I don't know. It almost feels like a little bit of a stretch to say that it's the book that I have to talk about, because honestly, I don't know that I had a book this week that I like really had to talk about.
Okay.
Other than the one that you picked in a minute here. But The Terrifics is a book that, like, it's by Jeff Lemire, art currently by Doc Shaner, originally by Ivan Reis, and then I think they had a Dale Eaglish on a couple issues there, don't remember. But this is a series that started pretty rocky. You dropped it.
Yeah.
In the first couple issues, and I don't blame you. I was on the edge about dropping it.
Yeah.
It's like the characters hated each other in a way that was kind of insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
In that they just talked shit every panel.
Yeah.
Constantly, in a way that was really wordy and really obnoxious. And we've moved past that. The characters, pretty much for the most part, are getting along. They have moments where, like, they'll kind of, like, get annoyed with each other, but, like, in a much more natural way, other than just, we hate each other all the time, you know?
Yeah.
It's actually prompted now. And, like, it's turned into this very fun Silver Age throwbacky feel series in the way that, like, Jeff Lemire does really well in a lot of his books. And it, like, the characters have, like, toned down to a point where they're actually all pretty likable now, and they get along, and they're off just having fun adventures. It's a really fun, light superhero book now, and I think that the change of art really helped facilitate that, because I think Jeff Lemire was trying too hard to write for what Ivan Reis is good at in the beginning of this series, which is the big, dramatic, epic stuff. And that's not, I don't know that that's Jeff Lemire's forte. Jeff Lemire's forte is in kind of the more, like, it's in the more
intricacies, like, of the characters.
Yeah, it's in character work. It's in, like, likable characters. It's in fun character dynamics, and, like, just like a fun sense of adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And this book is starting to really feel like the kind of, like, Fantastic Four type book that it felt like it was supposed to be from the onset.
Mm-hmm.
That they're this, like, family that's been forced together, and yeah, it's really fun. I love Doc Shaner's art. It's like this very, it's not quite like a Chris Samnee level of, like, simple perfection, but, like, it's in that wheelhouse, you know? Like, it's very, like, every line is very purposeful, and yeah, I really like this book. I would recommend, like, I don't know if you'll decide to pick it back up, but for anyone who was, like, put off by those first couple issues, like, it's improved a great deal in the last few issues.
I'm looking at the art right now, and it is a lot better for Doc Shaner.
Yeah, it's like it's a much better fit for Jeff Lemire, and it feels like he's lightened up the story to fit that in a lot of ways, and I really like it. Also, they introduced a character, or a dog, I guess a dog is a character, named Element Dog, and he's a dog metamorpho.
Aww, I saw what you posted. That's great. Also, I'm seeing...
So cute.
Wait, was this the first issue of, like, a new arc, then?
Kind of. Yeah. It's the first issue of Element World.
Can I just pick this up?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Can you just explain it? Because I don't want to go back and get the last three.
The last issue is, like, probably the best jumping on point. Although you could probably jump into this one just as easily. They just reference stuff that happened in the last issue. This is number 5. Number 4, it was the first Doc Shaner issue. But this is the start of kind of a longer arc.
So can you just give me like a sentence on like what happened in, I think I read 1 and 2.
Okay.
Can you just tell me what happened in 3 and 4?
You met Phantom Girl.
Yeah, right? She is having problems materializing. Yeah,
she can't really contact anything. They figured out a way to like allow her to interact with like inanimate objects and stuff.
Okay.
But she can't really like have human contact or like stand on the ground or anything.
Okay.
But so basically the big thing that happened. Well, okay, so they escape to that other dimension. They are bound together in that they can't be more than like a mile apart.
Yeah, I know that.
They'll die. Mm-hmm. They are trying to figure out how to break that, but for now they're all basically living together in I think they're at what's his name? Simon Stagg's
the people who are funding it,
from the beginning. Yeah. And Mr. Terrific has kind of set up shop there, and he's trying to figure out how to break this thing. They all went to Phantom Girl's home planet in the last issue, which is the thing they reference here. And she'd been stuck in another dimension for years, and so she got to see her family and stuff again, and it was really nice. Other than that, they've just kind of been fighting random monsters and stuff. This one is the start of, this one probably would be a good one to jump on.
Yeah. Because I just don't want to go back and, like, I think you said, like, 3 was okay again and whatever, but 4 was,
the first 2 were kind of, the first 2, they were on par with each other in terms that they were just, like, okay, but not great. And then the third issue was better. The fourth issue was where it, like, kind of hit its stride. And then this one kind of just, like, hit the ground running with, like, and here's a story with these characters now that we've kind of got them to the point where we want them to be.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll pick 5 up next week. I'll do it.
I just think it's a really fun, it gives me the same kind of feeling that I get, like, when I read, like, I've talked about Jeff Johns' run on JSA and stuff. Like, it's a very, like, it's just, like, good, solid, fun superhero storytelling. And I'm enjoying it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. And then there's the book that I probably actually want to talk about more.
Yes.
But you picked it as your own.
The fun adventure of Jeff Lemire that you were just saying, right?
Oh my!
Well, halfway.
Wow, yeah, we did pick 2 Jeff Lemire books this week.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
I didn't either. The book that you most want to talk about, Jack, is what?
The Sentry. Jeff Lemire in the other 2. The other one.
The other 2. The other one.
The other of the big 2. My other.
Yeah.
It's Venom.
Mm-hmm. My other.
But, this book, I think it's great. Little bit of, I don't know, I get the vibe, I get a Mr. Miracle vibe clashing with, Black Mirror episode.
You're talking specifically about the USS Callister episode of Black Mirror.
You know it is.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I know. I just, for clarity. Because I didn't know what you were talking about when you said that to me earlier.
But I think it's so cool because we enter in on this. Just the structure of this issue is so great because you enter in on this issue and shit's going down and he's battling void shadow monsters and he's like, oh, again, Shadow Army. Okay, cool. And then at the end of this conflict, and he has his whole family there, which is really funny to me, very super family-esque. And at the end of this conflict, the way to deal with it, he flies through the goddamn moon. And when I was reading it, I was like, what? No, you can't do that. Like, what?
Yeah, he basically blows up the moon, or half the moon.
Oh my god. And he finds the Sentry, he rips him in half, and then it's like on the next page turn, you turn it, and we realize what really is going on. And I just loved it. That, like, whole opening, you're just like, oh shit, they're really going into it. And it's like, oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, so he was in, like, basically a simulated reality where he can he can turn into the Sentry and be the Sentry. He's got a bit of a like Shazam kind of thing going on, where there is him as his normal self, and then he can turn into a superhero named the Sentry.
Yeah.
But then when he's the Sentry, it also summons this evil being called the Void, who threatens to take him over. And so he goes into this simulated world in which he can be the Sentry, but without endangering the real world with the Void.
It's just, does he actually get rest, or are they saying that he doesn't sleep?
I don't know. Well, because I'm clear on that.
Because this timer, it goes till 24 hours. So every 24 hours he can do it.
Yeah.
But how long is he in there? Is he sleeping then for part of it, before it, or something?
Because at the beginning of the issue, we've got like what looks like him like interfacing with this device, and he's got his eyes open at the end of it, so I don't think he's asleep.
No.
He's just like telepathically or whatever interfacing with this simulation.
Yeah. Also, can you tell me, so he is the Void, yeah?
The Void is like basically like, it's kind of like Legion with the Shadow King. Like, it's a being that kind of like
latched itself
is in him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that in the comics, the whole Shadow King Legion thing as well?
I think so. I've never read a Legion comic, to be honest.
All right. Never mind. Also, oh wow. I just saw the art for X-Men Grand Design in this advertisement. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. In any case, but yeah, and they go into, Sentry going day-to-day life and normal life. He has a beer belly kind of thing. He constantly is looking at his watch. I love that the reveal of, what's his friend's name? Goddamn.
Billy.
Billy.
His name is Billy.
And he doesn't have an arm.
He's the Scout, or he's Scout, which is his like. He's got a really Captain Marvel, Shazam, whatever you want to call him. He's got a very Shazam, I guess I have to call him now, vibe going on in that he has a, god damn it, but what do I call his sidekicks? It used to be Captain Marvel Jr., Ms. Marvel.
Oh.
Or not Ms. Marvel, Mary Marvel. I don't know what his sidekicks are called now. But, now that he's Shazam.
Miss Shazam.
But, anyway, so yeah, he's got a very, like, a family of superheroes like that, and Scout, his, like, Captain Marvel Jr., his Superboy, whatever you want to call him, is named Billy, and he is in the real life, in the real world. Seems like he got him his job at this as like a fry cook.
Oh no, I think so.
He says he's been working there longer.
Yeah.
So like this was, I assume, Billy's like job as a teenager, and when Sentry like needed a job because he's not a superhero anymore, or like he's down on his luck or whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he got him a job at his. And that's so sad that Billy's just been doing this forever, and he's stuck there.
Yeah.
God.
Who do you think came? Who do you think is traveling?
What do you mean?
Like, who do you think went to the other world? Who do you think stole his thing and went
Oh, yeah, the reveal at the end of the issue is that someone stole his device, his, like, alternate reality device. And, so someone's in there because, Sentry and... What is the dog's name?
Oh, crap.
Watchdog.
Watchdog. Yes.
It's a dog with a little blue cape. It's a corgi. I don't know if these characters existed before this issue.
Is there a definitive Sentry origin story?
I mean, there's a series from, I think they're 2000s, I think. Maybe 90s. I think it's 2000s. That's like... Basically, he was a Voyager in Avengers No Surrender, wherein, like, he was a character that everyone forgot about. And he was like, I've been around forever. Anyways.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about him other than that.
But you don't have any prediction on who came through the thing, though?
I really don't know.
It's a very
the
tall
implication
person.
feels like it's supposed to be the Void, but who knows? I don't know.
I mean, they have red lasers that come out of their hands. They're tall and they're in black things. Does the Void have lasers come out of his hands?
I don't know. Do we see the Void in this issue? I think
once. But also, I don't think it's the Void because the Void's speech bubbles are in black, and they would have done that, wouldn't they have?
That's true. But also, it would have given it away. Sometimes comics do that. Like, they can't, like, movies can get away with that by, like, just making a voice not quite audible, but, like, sometimes comic books, they do stuff like that where, like, a character has a specific colored speech bubble, and they want to keep it a secret that it's them, so they just won't do that.
Okay. I mean, it looks like the guy is really, really tall, too, so I don't know if the Void is...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it's supposed to be.
But also, if the Void comes through, doesn't that mean he summons the Sentry in that world, too?
Mm-hmm. That would be maybe the implication. That, like, he's going to have to use the Sentry in this world, and I don't know. But yeah, so I thought this was a really strong... This is the first, like, really strong Jeff Lemire Big 2 book, first issue, in a while.
Yeah.
And especially at Marvel. His Moon Knight run was really good, but other than that, some of his Marvel stuff hasn't been, like, really my thing.
Yeah.
But this book, started off on a really good foot, and I'm really interested to see where it goes.
Very interested, especially because I think this cover for next week is really, really, or next month is really, really cool. Have you seen it?
Yes, they have it at the end of the issue.
It's like a, really cool, what is it, an old-timey, like, basically, I feel like it's showing, like, his other world, his, like, one where he's Sentry and, like, Silver Age sort of stuff, happening behind him while he's in his new self, I think that's
Billy.
Scout. That's Billy. But he has both arms.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because Billy doesn't have an arm.
Maybe Scout in that world, like, somehow is transported into a new one and he's really depressed or something.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it's supposed to be, like, a classic, like, looking version of Billy.
What if Billy stole the thing? And he killed the Scout in that universe?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, this series gives me I think I was telling you about it, gives me a really strong flashbacks to Alan Moore's Miracle Man series.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that. I like that. That sounds cool.
So that was a book in which there was a man who used to be a superhero who, in that series, slightly different than this, he basically remembers he's a superhero, and he is also a Shazam type superhero. And it, like, has an other form, and in that he is an old man who turns into a like, more physically fit man in his prime, like this. But that series deals a lot with, like, where does that body come from when he turns into a superhero? Is it him? Is it something else? Is it the same person as him?
Yeah. That sounds really cool.
It's really cool. Like, Alan Moore just, like, taking a really established kind of comic book trope and just really digging into, like, how the fuck does that work? But, like, using it to really good character effect.
What happens when, like, the kid, Billy Bastion, is that who?
Billy Batson.
Batson. What happens when that kid grows up? Is he just still turned into the same Shazam? Like, if he gets old, Theoretically, that he would, like, I think Shazam is ageless. Like, I think that superhero form does not age, but yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think they'll ever do, like...
They've never allowed Billy Batson to grow up.
Oh,
so
that's too bad. I feel like that'd be really cool, like, if they did an old man Shazam book, where, like, it was him trying to, I don't know, like a sort of Miracle Man thing, but if they could lay into, I don't know, other things.
That was also kind of, like, part of what Miracle Man did, was, like, it was, like, inverting that in, like, the kid becoming adult. It was like, what if it was old man who's like falling apart, like is able to become like a young man again.
Yeah.
And also like it does play with the idea of what if one of like a kid who turns into an adult grew up. Like the sidekick, he has been out of contact with his kid sidekick for a long time, and like he's been able to turn into his superhero form that whole time. It's really interesting.
This also reminds me, the old man like turning into something else kind of reminds me of Guy Country as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
But in any case, Sentry, I'm really excited for where this is going to go. I hope, I know this is probably just a 12-issue maxi, right?
They're not saying, but I would be surprised if this is not a series that like Jeff Lemire has an end point in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? That maybe someone else will just pick it up after he tells his story, and they'll continue making Sentry books. But like, I'm pretty sure Jeff Lemire has like
an end game,
a 6-issue or a 10-issue or a 12-issue story. That he's going to tell and then leave. That's my guess anyway.
Okay. In any case, it's really great. I really love the art, and really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. Cool. Jack, now that we've talked about the books that we have got to talk about, let's talk about maybe the moments that we want to talk about.
Can I do
let's talk about...
Can I do a quick tangent to break from form?
Sure.
Because I just remembered about something that I really wanted to tell you about. So, on Reddit, I belong to a subreddit called Thanos Did Nothing Wrong, where they just post a bunch of memes about Thanos and the movie and everything like that. And so that subreddit has gotten to 100,000 subscribers. So a lot of people have said, now that we're at 100,000 subscribers, we have to ban half of us so that we can keep to form. And they're thinking about doing it, and I think it's hysterical. And they made a new like subreddit called In the Soul Stone for those people who get banned. And apparently there will be an unban at when Avengers 4 comes out. So I just wanted to tell you about that because I forgot about it at the beginning. But I wanted to tell you. That
would suck so much for the people who get banned.
No, we do it for the good of the subreddit. Doug.
I know, but
Doug, not bad.
That's so funny. It's so funny. No, you did nothing wrong.
The internet can be so wonderful, such a wonderful place. But yes, let's talk about our panels of the week.
So Jack, what was your favorite segment this week? Your favorite panels of the week?
Doug is so mad at me, everybody.
I'm not
He's so upset at me breaking the rules.
You didn't break the rules. We expanded the segment a month or two back to include segments, and you did that. It's well within your right.
It's a segment.
I just think we should maybe split them up.
I think you're
anyways,
right. It was also hard for me to come up with a panel or segment. Yes. So I thought, and I wanted to be able to talk about this book a little bit. And I think this is a perfect page, even for you to read, because it doesn't give away anything. It's just a really cool sequence. So my panel of the week,
your panels of the week.
In Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Ta-Nehisi?
You struggled with that one, yeah. Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Okay. And Daniel Acuna. This is Black Panther number 2, second issue to come out. This is for their fresh start on this character about the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. It's just this 2-page splash where I don't know if there's a specific term for it, Doug, but they have the panels so you read it across the 2 pages. Is there a specific term for how it's structured here?
No, I don't think there's a format term for it, but yeah. Okay. So
they're doing the overflow method.
Yeah, they're doing a widescreen.
This is the widescreen edition.
Sort of. Yeah, they're treating the 2 pages as a single page, and you're reading right to left all the way across.
Yes, and it's a perfect time to do so because you open this and it's that sort of thing, and it's just detailing a specific moment of this spaceship chase through the intergalactic empire of Wakanda.
It's very Star Wars trench run feeling. Page.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think what really is special about it is that I think the pace is done so well with this sort of format, especially with this, because what they do here is they have long panels for showing both the ships chasing and the ships being chased. And they put little panels for little, like, blurbs of when they're talking. Like, all Imperial fighters over there. And then they use that size of panel to sort of, it kind of gets smaller as you get to the page, get through the page. Like, the first one is one full long panel going across, and then there's 3 on the next level, and then there's 1 where something happens, he moves really fast or some shit, and then there's very small panels filling up the rest of that long segment, and they're like, oh, we lost him, he vanished, how could a ship move so quickly? It doesn't matter, what matters is, where is he now? And that's the next, for the next level. I just think it's so well put together. This is like the 12th page of Black Panther this week, if you want to look at it. It's just a really cool done segment for a car chase, and I think one of the best ways a chase has been done in comics that I've seen, because even like Death or Glory, which is about that, I haven't seen like something like this thus far in there, and I think it's a really cool way to do it in this form of storytelling. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it makes me feel. It reminds me of, and I'm trying my hardest to find an example of it to try to compare it, because I don't exactly remember the format, but it gives me flashbacks to other kind of car race crash sequences.
Yeah.
Or car crash sequences in comics, specifically the first pages of The Dark Knight Returns and Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, where Robot Man is having a dream about crashing his race car. In that it has that really fast sense of speed, and then this like really strong feeling when like things are damaged, or when the danger is happening.
Yes.
And yeah, I really think, yeah, the layout of this with the what you were saying about like the contrast between the really long panels that really emphasize the sense of speed, and then the really, really tiny, narrow panels where like it like makes you feel claustrophobic and stressed. Yeah, I think this is a really cool chase sequence. Yeah, very, very much intrigued by it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This whole book was kind of this chase sequence, like mainly.
That's cool.
So it was very cool. I really enjoyed the art. I'm interested to see where this story is going to go, because I don't really know yet what is going to happen. But I'm going to keep it going. It's really cool. I'm excited.
Cool.
Doug, what was your panel of the week?
Yeah, so my panel of the week, I didn't have like a super standout panel this week. This wasn't like a big like splash page or anything. I mean, not that the panel has to be a splash page. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this was a panel that like stood out to me this week, and it's a very subtle one. It's not one that like immediately is like a huge like thing that draws your eye or anything, but it's a small moment that I really liked. That is a nice reference back maybe to an old famous moment. So in The Man of Steel, number 5, by Brian Michael Bendis, and Adam Hughes is on art on this one. It's been a different artist every issue. I really like the art on this issue, by the way. Superman, he's been in a battle with Rogol Zar, the villain of this series, and he's been kind of like put out of commission. He's smashed up on the moon. And Supergirl goes up to the moon to find him, and she picks him up out of on the moon, and she's like cradling him in her arms before she flies off. And he looks like very near death, at least in that panel. And it really reminds me of, it's not like an homage panel necessarily, because it's not exactly the same in every way, but I do think that it is supposed to evoke the cover / the moment in Crisis on Infinite Earths. What number is this issue? It's apparently issue number 7 of that series. But anyway, it's the moment in Crisis on Infinite Earths where Superman is holding Supergirl's dead body.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a reverse of that. In both panels, they're like holding them like by the legs and then the torso and kind of cradling them.
Baby cradle.
And it's just like, I don't know, it's just like a nice subtle little thing that like it like gives you this nice sense of continuity between the characters. That like they're thinking about that history.
Mm-hmm.
The creative team on this, and I'm just, it makes me very excited for the approach to Supergirl in this, that they're trying to make her more of a great character in her own right, someone who's a bit more on par with Superman.
Yeah,
and I think that's cool. And so they're trying to they're in a lot of ways like trying to like posit them as equals, at least in this miniseries. And I hope that is a thing that continues.
I hope that doesn't mean she's gonna die. What if that means they're foreshadowing?
Oh, I hope so. I hope not. I hope so. I hope not. Because I think it's interesting what they're doing with her here. But yeah, it's just like I just think I like the nice little nod, and Adam Hughes' art is fantastic, and I think. Well, also I'm so shit out of that panel.
I'm still so fascinated at movement because he really draws the movement of the rocks falling off his body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so cool to me that you can draw a moment like that and it doesn't feel like a picture really, you know?
Yeah, you can feel the upwards momentum of her picking him up.
And the weight of everything around him falling off, you know? Like you feel her strength.
Yeah, it's a cool panel, especially because like Superman is drawn here as being like he is a bigger person than her, and she's holding him, and it doesn't like, and it's interesting because like yes, it does feel like they are drawing the weight of him, but also she's not like strained or anything, you know?
No.
Like I think it's a good depiction of like her strength in this panel, that like she's able to just lift him up like that with seemingly relative ease.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really cool. Can I talk about in this moment, by the way, because we didn't talk about this last week, I don't think, about how Man of Steel last week had the worst faces in the world. Much better this week.
I disagree with that. But I think last week Kevin Maguire did the art last week. Yeah. Kevin Maguire is an artist who he draws comedy, and the book wasn't necessarily doing comedy.
Yeah.
Kevin Maguire was just doing Kevin Maguire. And so the faces all looked a little bit like silly. I don't think they looked bad. I don't really see what you're seeing there. I think they just didn't match the moments that Bendis was trying to write. They all felt a little bit like they were trying to do that, like they were trying to make the characters look doofy and silly. I thought they looked realistic.
So do you think that matching the moments of the writing is good or bad in comics?
I mean, I think you should try to match the writing. I just don't think that I don't think that the art in and of itself was bad.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, well, okay, yes, I did say that.
I don't like the faces.
I didn't like the faces. They looked dumb.
Issue.
They looked dumb. I didn't like it.
I don't think I didn't see that.
Maybe I'm thinking that because it was accentuated by the fact that they didn't match. Like I felt like this weird dissonance between it, and that it added to my dislike for it. But I just didn't like it.
Like it always looked like they were like when you take a picture of someone, like when they're like in the middle of saying something and they look doofy, you know, like
yeah.
Kevin Maguire is someone who doesn't he draws that on purpose, you know, and I don't know. I don't think that I don't think it was the best fit for the moments that Bendis was writing. Some of them were, Some of them were supposed to be funny, but like not all of them. Like there was some stuff where like some panels where he was like trying to find Rogol Zar in the Fortress of Solitude, and like he just looked like he was like a buffoon.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Okay. Whatever. Also, can we talk about...
I'm confused by the cliffhanger that we had at the end of the last issue. You probably didn't know this, and I don't think I explained this to you, but so the explosion at the end of the last issue, Superman in the last few years discovered a new power, which was that he has the ability to basically create a big fiery explosion from himself.
It's like a sun thing, right?
Yeah, he expels all his solar energy in one blast. But normally, what that does is it depowers him for a period of time. And the assumption at the end of the last issue, I thought, and a lot of people thought, was he was not going to have his powers in this issue. And nope. He's just still Superman.
Huh.
So I don't know what that was.
Interesting.
They don't even reference it. It's weird. But
that is weird. I forgot about that.
Maybe Bendis is just not going to use that part of it. Maybe he can just explode, and that's just a thing now. I don't know.
Huh. I don't know, man. Maybe he's weak afterwards, and that's why Rogol is able to overpower him.
Maybe he didn't use all of it, and so he's... maybe that's why he lost. I didn't feel like they were implying that, but that would make sense logically. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay. In any case, also, can we talk about how the thing that he draws on this bed, like this eating tray, looks exactly like the Flash's Thunderbolt?
It looks similar.
Am I wrong? And they're like, what is that? No one references it, which makes me mad, because it's like, they're asking like, what is that? It looks like a circle, lots of circles. No, it looks like the Flash's Thunderbolt. Like, why doesn't anybody say that?
Yeah, it's pretty certain that I don't think it's supposed to be that, because that would be real stupid.
It would be, but I'm just mad that they drew that and no one said anything.
You'd think that someone would be like, is it the Flash's symbol? And he'd be like, no, that's not quite it. Because it isn't quite it.
No.
But it does look very similar.
Really similar.
Yeah. But I do also like the moment where Hal scans it and they're like, what do you think it is? And he's like, I don't know, it's a circle. Which is kind of funny. But
also, did you like the caca poo poo stuff? I didn't like that.
I was confused by that. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Anyways.
In any case, finish of that next week.
Yeah, last issue of Man of Steel, and then the following week we'll get, I think the first issue of Superman?
I think so. I think Action Comics is the next week after that.
Yeah. Which I don't recall. Did we ever find out if those books are twice monthly? Because they're currently twice monthly, or they were. And I don't know if Bendis is continuing that, or if they're going to be monthlies now that he's writing both.
I feel like we saw somewhere that they were $2.99, so I think we inferred that they were twice monthly then.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's every week of Bendis.
That's theoretically every week you're going to get an installment of, that's kind of cool. Bendis
came really hard.
Bendis is coming currently.
So
all
hard.
over the DC universe. Yeah. So I want to do a quick little segment here, which is just, I want to check in on all the new books that come out every week, since we might have a little extra time.
Mm-hmm.
And
this new segment is called
New Book Roundup.
New Book Roundup.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what is that a reference?
Woody's Roundup?
Sure.
Woody's Roundup from Toy Story.
Okay. That's what I was unclear on, if it was a Toy Story thing or not, but it was. So I understood that reference. So this week, a couple new series. We had a new creative team on Detective Comics. That creative team was Brian Hill, and who was the artist? Someone did it. A ghost did it. No, it was Miguel Mendoza. What is a C with a little line coming out of the bottom of it?
Maybe it's like Mendoza.
Mendoca? I don't know. Anyways, Miguel over here did the pencils.
So tell me about everything in this. I'm interested.
Yeah. So this book we just finished James Tynion's run on Detective Comics, which was kind of the pitch of that, as opposed to past Detective Comics runs. This is Batman leading a team book along with Batwoman. Was kind of the concept. And this book, interestingly, is continuing on that theme. And in a lot of ways, I was surprised at how much this felt like I was just reading the same book.
Oh, really?
I don't think that it necessarily... It didn't feel exactly the same. It did feel different, but it felt like a continuation, of the story and of the ideas and stuff. So it's Batman starting basically a different team with other characters. Someone's hunting Batman's kind of sidekick characters. They go after Duke Thomas and Cassandra Cain, who is a character she's a character named Orphan from the previous run of Detective Comics, who claims that they make Batman weak, which is not a new idea, but sure,
it's the old idea, isn't it?
That's the year spin on it, I guess. I don't think it was poorly done, but yes, it is a trope, and I hope that Brian Hill is aware of that. But yeah, it feels a lot like the previous run of Detective Comics felt like it's Bruce bringing the team together. It's a lot about Bruce's secrecy. It's a lot about Batman trying to train up a group of potential characters, although we don't have the team together quite yet. He's recruiting Black Lightning right now to create basically an old DC team called the Outsiders, on which that Batman led, that had Black Lightning and Katana and some other characters. I think Metamorpho was on that team. I wonder if he'll be in this. Anyways, my guess is it'll be different. But Black Lightning's in it. Yeah. Okay. So I liked it. I think it's if people are curious about this book, it's definitely a good jumping on point. And if you are someone who was sad that Tynion's run ended, I think that it builds on it in interesting ways, without feeling like it's just doing the exact same thing. I'm curious to see where it goes. It didn't blow me away or anything, but I am definitely going to be reading at least the next couple issues and see where it goes. I thought it was good.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Fun. Okay, now what about Multiple Man? Let's go.
I don't know what this book was. I get what this book was, but also I don't know what I was supposed to latch onto in it, to be completely honest.
Okay.
So this is a book by Matthew Rosenberg, with art by again, I've lost it. It is Andy McDonald.
I haven't heard of either of those people.
Matthew Rosenberg is a newer talent. He came up kind of around the time that Donny Cates kind of came over. He's been on a bunch of X-Men related stuff, so it makes sense that he is writing Multiple Man, which is a kind of side mutant character, very involved with teams like X Factor, and the New Mutants and stuff. So this is a book in which Multiple Man is a character named Jamie Madrox, who can multiply himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's able to recombine with himself and absorb their knowledge. This is a book in which they said, you know what's really confusing? When there's a million versions of this character running around everywhere. How can you know which one's the real one? You want to make it even more confusing if we added time travel.
Oh God.
So there's versions of him running around through time. There's like nobody knows. Like he keeps popping up in scenes and be like, don't do this thing now. Do this thing, and like I think it's supposed to be like chaotic and funny. And I found it a little bit kind of imparsible. I don't know if that's a word.
Interesting.
Difficult to parse.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Wow. What are you going to continue it or no?
I am undecided. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think it was bad. I found it decently entertaining. It's a little bit goofy for my tastes.
Yeah.
Like jokey in a way that like I don't generally like, but like I'm not against comedy. I just I don't know.
I am against all comedy.
I don't like the sense of humor in this is not necessarily always my bag, but it's I think it's a decently interesting book, but I wasn't like, I don't know. I probably am not going to pick up the next issue, to be honest.
Okay, good to know. I wanted to actually quick talk about, because we're going to talk about the other miscellaneous books just a little bit, and I just want to do it, because we already talked about Man of Steel, we already talked about Venom a little bit, but I want to do 2-in-1, Marvel 2-in-1, but a little bit on Venom. With Venom, I experienced my first sliding time scale.
How so?
When Mr. Eddie Brock and Miles Morales are flying through the city trying to get to the Dragon Guy, Mr. Eddie Brock mentions to Spider-Man, like, hey, should we, like, get the Avengers here? Or, like, the X-Men? And then Spider-Man, Miles Morales, is like, apparently Celestials are falling out of the sky everywhere. If you don't know, just say you don't know. Like, he doesn't believe him. But he mentions the Celestials falling out of the sky, like, is happening in Avengers. So, yeah, that happened, and that's the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah, which actually is a thing I kind of wanted to talk about this week, also, in that, like, writers are very clearly, like, excited about this Hall of Justice thing in Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I don't know if you...
I did notice. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Did they have it in Man of Steel? Is that one where they had it?
I don't know if it was Man of Steel. I feel like it was something else last week, wasn't it?
There was a bunch of stuff this week.
Like that symbol, right?
I think they were in it in Man of Steel when they like had Superman in a bed. Yeah, they showed the outside. When Supergirl brings injured Superman back, they're in the Hall of Justice.
There it is.
And they show the outside, and people are milling around in like the courtyard or whatever.
But I feel like I saw the symbol of it somewhere else.
Maybe. It was also in The Flash this week. They run past it. I don't recall. Martian Manhunter shows up. This isn't the Hall of Justice, but like lots of like really strong like Justice League continuity nods in all of the books this week. Martian Manhunter shows up as kind of the chairman of the Justice League to talk to Batman in Detective Comics. I think there's it's really cool like in Venom, how you pointed out, when books like have that feeling that like they are this connected world like that, you know? Like, that just changed, that Hall of Justice stuff. That's new. And, like, seeing it in all these other books is pretty cool. Like, oh, wow, yeah, like, that created this whole new thing that, like, everyone is affecting everyone else in the universe. I think that's cool.
I agree. Now, quick word on 2-in-1. My favorite part of it was, sleazy neckbeard Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite part. So, it's just, he looks so gross. He looks like he's been on the internet, like, talking about some video game and how they shouldn't have women in it.
Spider-Man, they're in an alternate universe, because this book is a thing in Human Torch and Doctor Doom, and a new character named Rachna. I think that's how you would pronounce her name. Rachna Cole. think. Anyway, they're jumping through different universes in this one. In this one, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is like living as this weird, like, grandmaster of this gladiatorial ring he calls Battle World. And he's like wearing Captain America's mask with Spider-Man eyes on it, and then his Spider-Man suit, but then he's got like Kraven the Hunter's cape over him / vest.
Yeah.
It's very funny looking. And he looks gross and creepy.
But then, other than that, like this issue, this series is surprisingly so good.
Yeah.
Like, and where we leave off with her stealing the multisect and stranding them in this universe where Doom and her are somewhere else. It's just, I'm so excited to read more of this.
Yeah. This series has started to give me really conflicting feelings about the upcoming Fantastic Four relaunch.
Oh, yeah?
In that, like, this series, like, feels like they're doing the Fantastic Four without it being actually called the Fantastic Four. Like, they've got 4 characters, and the other 2, we've got Thing and Human Torch, and then we've got Dr. Doom, this character with this storied past with the Fantastic Four, who's trying to be a hero now, and he's kind of, in some ways, filling the, like, strategic leader role. And then we've got, like, the science genius in Rachna, even if she's not quite trustworthy yet. But, like, I really like the idea of, like, Dr. Doom having this hero turn and being, in kind of some ways, like, a member of the team.
Yeah.
And
fucked up member of the team who murders Doctor Strange.
But yeah, seeing him try to be a hero and be on the team he used to fight is really interesting. Like, they're not saying this is the Fantastic Four, but like it kind of is.
Yeah.
And I've had a really strong turn in the last year in terms of how I think about change in superhero comics.
Yeah.
And about like how frustrating it is to read continuously and see all these cool character developments and stuff, and then every couple of years and now back to the classic thing.
Yeah.
And ignore everything that we've done. Like, it feels like there's no sense of chronological continuity there.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I would have loved to see like them build on this and like actually rebuild the Fantastic Four, and maybe Dr. Doom is one of the 4. Like, maybe the Fantastic Four doesn't have to be the classic 4.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're doing because they want to get back to the classic formula that everyone knows and loves, you know, and
the classic formula.
Oh, god damn it.
Sorry.
By the way, wait, what was it? I think Terrifics.
The Terrific 3?
Terrifics this week. Oh god, yeah, some weird coincidences there. Yeah, they had the Terrific 3 in this issue.
Yeah. Which
is kind of funny because the Terrifics is kind of a Fantastic Four analog. And then also, end of the Terrifics this week. They're just not even being subtle about it. They just, the next time the like little teaser title at the end of the issue says, "Next, 4 no more." That's just literally like the next time on for a Fantastic Four book.
Yeah.
Like you can't just you can't utilize the 4 that much.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
But this book is really good though. Yeah.
Really good.
Really enjoying it. We're getting some cool some little ominous developments on this like dark Fantastic Four bits with the Mad Thinker, where he's like made himself look like Reed Richards. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen anything about that yet.
Yeah, we got him breaking into Rachna's her base, which is where she like restores people's powers. So theoretically, I'm assuming they're going to try to use her shit to give them Fantastic Four powers, because he's got like 3 other people behind him. We don't know who they are yet, but
yeah, they're
theoretically like, we've got a big guy. We've got, I think, a woman, and I don't know who this other person is, but like I think they're supposed to. I mean, the assumption is they're supposed to be like the evil version of the Fantastic Four. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. I want to know who those characters are.
Yeah.
Who are the villain versions of all of the classic team? I don't know.
No idea. But I'm excited. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Oh wait, no. So don't tell me too much about Saga and Descender because I'm still reading.
I just put all of the books that we're reading that we hadn't talked about.
Oh, okay. He wrote them down. Okay, yeah. Because I'm Descender. We have Volume 2, and God, I love that's so good. And then Saga, I think I'm on Volume 6. I still need to buy it. I still need to get Volume 6. So that's where I'm at. I don't know how many there are. If they have another big book of Saga, I want to get that instead of getting all the single trades. You know?
Yeah. I think those usually, I don't know how long after they come out, but they come out a while after the regular trades.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are in the regular trade publishing right now. But yeah, God, Descender's ending theoretically next month.
Next month? It says concluding?
I mean, it's the arc is the end of the universe 3 of 4.
Oh.
So, and it says to be concluded at the end of the issue.
Shit.
And it is definitely at a very big climax.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah, it says final issue coming in July.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm probably not going to finish it by then, but it's so good. That's Jeff Lemire, too.
Yep.
Right?
Jeff Lemire, just fucking on a tear through the comics industry. Guy. Oh, yeah, he writes a shit ton of books and, like, keeps the quality bar generally pretty high.
Yeah.
At least lately, yeah.
Oh, speaking of other books, by the way, I don't know if I told you, I picked up all, like, till issue 5 of Baby Teeth by Donny Cates.
I think you did tell me that.
Okay,
yeah, I haven't read that.
I just reread the first issue. I'm going to reread it, like, finish rereading it, and then go on into those, but I'm really excited. They just put out issue 11, I think. So the next
Was it still ongoing?
Yeah, they have a trade that's 6 through 10, so I'm going to get that after I finish these, and then be on with the thing. So I'm excited. It's really interesting. It's very horror, kind of Rosemary's Baby sort of idea, seemingly. Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah.
By Aftershock.
Any other books you want to talk about before we wrap up here?
No, I'm pretty good. Samantha just finished Black Bolt, or she has like 2 more issues left.
Yeah, she was.
And that was interesting.
She was telling me she was reading that.
I'm glad, because that's such a. I want to reread the first volume again because it's so good. There's so much I feel like that I can go back to now and read again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Do you reread comics a lot?
Not very often. I'll read like the big ones that I really love. Like I'll reread Doom Patrol every few like 5 years or whatever, and then I'll read Killing Joke and that kind of stuff. Watchmen. Yeah. But like in general, I don't know. I don't really go back to like a whole lot of comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, also in the grand scheme of things, I've been reading longer than you, but I haven't been reading like that long. I've been reading since like late high school. So
yeah,
God, that'll have been like 10 years.
Oh my God!
Good Lord!
You're right, we graduated 2010.
Almost. Shit. Almost. A couple years from now.
That's fucked up. Okay, in any case, what's the stack next week before we dwell on our age too much?
Cool, yeah. Let me pull that up here. Next week, we've got Avengers number 4. You're not reading this, but Batman number 50, The Wedding, is happening.
Oh, shit.
That's big. Death or Glory number 3.
Oh.
You never caught up on Hillbilly, right?
We have the first volume.
Okay.
What number is this?
This is 11.
Okay, so there's probably maybe one other volume. I don't know, maybe not.
There's probably another trade.
Another trade, yeah. I read the first issue. It was great. I liked it. But yeah.
yeah, that series is starting to like wrap together, but because it was a bunch of one-off stories for a long time, and it's starting to kind of tie them all together in some cool ways now. And
it's not ending though, right?
They are switching to. It seems like they're switching to a mini-series format because there's a mini coming out, I believe, in August, or I don't know if it's a mini, but it's a relaunch of some kind that seems like it's a mini-series because it's got like a subtitle.
Okay.
We've got Justice League number 3. Very excited for that. Another weird one. Are you caught up on Paper Girls?
Oh no, I have read one trade of it. I need to get the second trade.
Okay.
'Cause that's on number what?
22.
Oh, that's not that far. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, just asking. And then Immortal Hulk number 2. Very interested to see where that series goes.
Yeah.
You're
gonna do it, right? You're gonna pick that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up at least one more issue. I want to see where it goes.
Okay.
And the last issue of Man of Steel, the Man of Steel number 6.
Yep, that's it.
So it says on the cover, "The fate of Lois and John revealed." So
there's 6 weeks. Those best
6 damn weeks. I finally am gonna know like the actual full answer to like what the fuck is going on with Lois and John. I mean, I feel like I get the gist now.
Yeah,
but they're probably gonna throw some kind of weird twist on it in the information we don't know in the next issue. Yeah.
John is Rogol Czar. Time traveled.
Oh my god. I really hope. I mean, I'm cool with them changing the backstory of Krypton or whatever, and this guy destroyed it. Like, sure, yeah, add your own new twist on it. But, like, I kind of hope that that's a lie just because, like, we set up the story with, like, the reveal of that. So I feel like the only satisfying twist there can be is that, like, he didn't actually do that, and they were hinting at it this last issue.
Uh-huh.
But also they were hinting at it in a way that made me feel like they're going to find out he totally did. So I don't know. Could go either way.
We'll see.
Cool. And then you don't have any other books, do you? That like I'm not reading or anything?
Next week?
Let me see. Did you read Ant-Man and the Wasp?
No, I didn't.
No, you did not do that.
Is that number 3, I guess?
Don't see anything. That's 3, yeah. I remember you were going to at some point, but I don't think
I was thinking about it, but I just figured, like, no.
Oh, also, DC Nation number 2 is
What does that
coming
mean?
out. Wait, number 2? Was that number 1 or number 0, the free one?
I thought it was 25 cents.
25-cent one.
I don't know, man. Why do they usually do DC Nation? Is that a new thing, or is that just...
It's a thing they used to do. It's just a magazine about DC shit that with interviews and stuff, but I think it also has...
is that like the thing that Image does?
I think it also has
Image
little
Plus
comics features in it. What?
Is that like the thing Image does, Image Plus?
Yes, similar to that.
Okay.
But also it says comic $0 on this app I'm on, so...
Okay, whatever.
Maybe?
I mean, whatever. Who knows?
If it's free, I might check it out. But also, did I miss one? I don't know. I don't think there's anything else that... Oh, The Unexpected number 2 is coming out.
Oh, I'm going to read that.
Week. Are you going to read that?
Yeah.
I'm probably not. But
well, I was going to...
I don't know how it is.
Wait, what was I going to do? Wasn't I going to flip through and see if they did something? I was gonna solicit it.
You were gonna see if the other characters they killed stayed dead.
Yeah.
I might pick up this Catwoman series by Joelle Jones.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that.
I might. I think I have a lighter week next week. I think I'm gonna do that. Anyways, yep, that's next week. That's gonna do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us, if you like the show, is give us a review or a star rating on the iTunes. If you enjoy the show, let someone know about us.
Now, sorry, wait a minute.
What?
The cover of next week has those characters on the cover. I think I'm not going to do it.
I'm very curious if they kill them or not.
I'll flip through.
I would like you to at least flip through it and give me a report back.
I'll flip through it. I'll do it. But
because I need to know.
Because that's expected.
If they fucking bring those characters back, that's frustrating.
It's expected.
That's so expected. So expected. Come on, guys. Be unexpected.
Exactly.
If you like the show, let someone know about us. We release episodes weekly on Sundays. Get your words straight, Doug.
Yes.
Damn it. I tried to slap myself in the face. I don't think it read in the microphone.
Well, you can't read anything through the microphone. It's a sound thing.
No, I'm doing industry talk here.
Oh,
I'm such a deep podcast industry person. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back in next week, or better yet, subscribe to the podcast and never even have to think about it.
You
iTunes
don't.
Makes that very easy.
Yes.
You just flip a little button and it just shows up on your phone every week.
And you flip a little button on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, and Google Play Music. Probably some others. But whichever podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered, as you would spell it. You can also find web archives of our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, I just realized, I think someone meant, do you remember the person that asked a question on Twitter about the DC thing? Was that meant to be a question that we do on the show?
No, I think it was just a question to us to respond on Twitter.
I thought so.
That was Quincy on Twitter. No, I mean, we answered him and we talked about it on the show anyways. So
we did. Okay, so
we answered we did more answering of your question, Quincy.
We answered your damn question, Quincy. God damn. Oh, sorry. It was his name actually, Quincy. Isn't there a name and then his handle?
I don't know. This is his Twitter handle. I don't want to blow this man's scene up. Okay, sorry. But send us a message on Facebook or Twitter. We will answer it, apparently. Or at our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening. I'm gonna stop coming up with names. I'm gonna stop being silly. I just have to. I can't think of one unless I come up with it before the show, which I guess I could, but I'm Jack. Unfortunately. I'm Harlog the Defiler.
Oh, that's good!
And this has been Comics Covered.
Cheerio, matey.